Hi, this is Dr. Dante Osieri. I'm a medical doctor and I am Italian, but I live in the USA. This is a statue of one of my ancestors that I had made in an area of Italy called Sud Tirol. It used to belong to Austria, but now it belongs to Italy. And they are very good statue makers or wood carvers. Today I'd like to talk about a device that the governments in Europe and North America, and probably in Asia as well, especially Japan, are going to use within the near future. The device, in my opinion, should be called RID. And the letters RID stand for Radio Identifying Device. Let me explain why I think that this device will come into being. I think at the moment it is in the exploratory stages, but it will come into being. At the moment, there are approximately 8 billion human beings on this planet. That is much too much. And of those 8 billion, approximately 5 billion are living in conditions that are inadequate for the normal human being. These people live in South America and Africa, in the Middle East, and parts of Asia. On the other hand, there are approximately 3 billion people living in countries where the standard of living is relatively high, and those people are, as you would know, in Europe and in North America and in Australia and New Zealand. Now, the people in the poor countries are beginning to move en masse, that is by the millions, towards the countries where the living conditions are very good. The people from the poor countries are looking for simply food and clothing and lodging and jobs and peace and a lack of crime. So they are moving relatively strongly towards Europe and North America. In Asia, the governments are too strict to allow them in at all. But the governments in Europe and in North America are divided on this issue of allowing in what they call migrants. Some people want them in and some people do not. In reality, the ones that make money off these people want them in. And the other people who are afraid of crime and having their taxes go up do not want them in. So the governments that are involved, which formerly identified all people within their borders through the use of a passport, are beginning to design or have investigations into the RID device, a radio identifying device. Now I say radio and not telephone because we all have a cell phone, but the cell phone is really not a phone. It's a small radio. It's a radio that sends a message to the so-called internet, which information is carried in wires along the various advanced countries. And then the people that have companies in the internet send information back to the radio. You can use it as a telephone, as we all know, but it is not a phone per se. It is not a landline. It is a radio. So radio is what we have to call it. Now the governments are looking to identify their citizens, their visitors with visas, their visitors without visas, their migrants, their illegal migrants, and so on. They need to have a large database of information concerning these people. with their citizens, they already have the information. They just have to have it centralized in a governmental agency, which will send the information to officers and groups and responders in the country. And this information will, one, identify the individual having the RID and give all the information necessary to help responding officers or governmental employees. This will include probably, obviously, a photo, but in addition, a fingerprint, which the RID will be capable of providing, and also DNA, which the instrument will provide, and also probably tattoos on the body of the individual in question. In addition, the RID through the governmental agency will provide information concerning health conditions and educational background and any legal or illegal information that would be important to people processing the person holding the RID, whether on the borders or inland. If the person holding the RID is involved in an accident or a crime, then police officers will have all this information available to them. In addition, we can see that this is a better way of identifying and elucidating information for anyone that is responsible to have that information. Naturally, if we analyze the availability of all this information, we can see readily that governmental employees and private parties could benefit financially from such information. In order to prevent any such bad and illegal arrangement to happen, the government is going to have to make the agency of RID extremely secure. They're going to hire people with no background of crime and people that have indications that they have been loyal to the government. In addition, they're going to have I think they're going to have punishment that is free from judges who might, from judges who would be in favor of the accused criminal, in which case they will have mandatory sentences for doing any criminal activity with the information or with the RID device, and they'll have mandatory punishments of 10 or 20 years, which no one can change. I'd like to know what you people think about this idea. Thank you.